Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of WHHS Sports. I'm Logan Repko.
And I'm Tyler Camiotti.
And tonight, the Red Raiders take on the West Geauga.
The West Geauga Wolverines. This is the championship round of district competition. To get this far, the Raiders have overcome the University School, Benedictine, and the NEC champions, the Jefferson Falcons. While we have a chance, let's go on to the starting lineups. For the home team on the scoreboard, which is West Geauga, we have Drew Pisciano, Joe Lebelski, Mike Reinhard, Rob LaTourette, and Rob Skuski. Skuski, the 6'8" big man who will be a huge presence in the lane.
That's right, certainly a man to look for. Now, on the Harvey side of the ball, we have number 12, Mike Baker, number 20, Morgan Lewis, number 21, Morgan Booth, number 22, Ivan Pinkett, and number 23, Kevin Alston. Certainly the Raiders play all very well as a team. Lewis should be a man to look for, though, as he is known for the big play in the big game.
Definitely. Look for the Raiders. The Raiders always come out with some flashiness, but look for tonight. They realize the magnitude of this game, and I think we're going to see a lot of fundamental basketball out of here. However, in West Geauga's last game, they played the Cortland Lakeview Bulldogs, and they were a little bit lethargic on the floor. They were still playing very hard, but they didn't show a whole lot of hustle, and they just weren't an overall quick team. The Raiders are a quick team. We have a lot of speed in Kevin Alston, Morgan Lewis, Mike Baker, and we'll be able to work the floor very well. Look for a lot of fast breaks where we could see some flashiness out of Mike Baker and Morgan Lewis.
That's right. Now, there is an opinion to the effect that the Harvey Red Raiders are we're the best team in this tournament. It has been heard, of course, for a lot of people. So it is no fluke that the Raiders are here.
Most definitely not.
They've played hard throughout this tournament.
Right, and Harvey's coming into this game on an 8-game winning streak, and West Geauga ended their season at 20-2, which is an incredible record. Harvey ended their season at a record of 14-9. Not quite as tough as the Wolverines, but still Harvey looked on as somebody that's going to be a tough opponent.
That's right. They certainly are hot right now too.
Number 33 for the Wolverines is Rob Skuski. This is a 6'8" player, and he's just going to be an incredible presence in the lane. The Raiders are going to look to they're going to have to work the outside shots and make good use of the outside shots, as Skuski's going to pretty much cut off all of the lane.
Yeah, they're going to have to be quick underneath. That's something that they do have is speed.
Right. Baker will be jumping against Skuski. Ball is up, and
Baker almost out-tipped the big man.
Drew Pisciano with the ball on the wing. Over to number 14, Rob LaTourette. That'll be Wolverines ball on the side. LaTourette to inbound the ball. Gets it into Pisciano. Pisciano over to LaTourette on the wing. West Geauga swinging the ball around. Pisciano with the ball on the wing. Out to LaTourette. LaTourette up top. Back over to Pisciano. In the corner to Joe Lebelski. On the opposite side, Mike Reinhard puts up the shot. And Harvey nearly comes up with the rebound, but then loses it.
And something, Tyler, they have been doing well for the past several games is not letting the other team get more than one opportunity to shoot. This isn't going to be a good thing if they keep letting West Geauga get 2 and 3 shot opportunities.
Right, we're really going to have to work on the rebounds, as you see Rob Skuski come up with the big boards there, and then go to the line after he's fouled on the shot. Mike Baker with the ball on the wing, nearly loses it to LaTourette. And that ball off the hand of LaTourette. It'll be Red Raider ball on the side. Ivan Pinkett to inbound.
Of course, when you're facing a 6'6" man, it is a little harder to get the boards than a 6'1" or 6'2".
Right. And Kevin Alston looking to go baseline. Gets called for the charge. Rob LaTourette standing his ground, taking the hit from Kevin Alston. Alston knocked him out of his shoe.
And so a minute has elapsed, and it's 2-0 in favor of West Geauga.
Pisciano swings it over to LaTourette. Pisciano down into Mike Reinhard. Reinhardt to Lubowski. And there's the big man, 6'8". And Skuski is going to the line one more time. I guess the game plan for the Raiders is to either stay in between Skuski and the person with the ball to eliminate all passing lanes, or stay in between Skuski and the basket to cut off his drives to the hoop. So far, they're leaving him alone in the paint, and I'm thinking that they need to really step it up on him because he's scored all 4 of West Geauga's points. Andrew Booth into the lane, throws it up high off the glass. LaTourette loses the ball over to Pisciano, and LaTourette pulls the trigger for the 3 off the side of the rim. Kevin Austin looks to drive to the floor. Lubowski on the ground with it.
Surprising.
Gets it off.
Oh, excuse me. Kevin Austin usually is very sure-handed with the ball. He kind of got stripped from behind right there.
Ouch.
West Geauga is rolling now with 6 minutes. They're up 7 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're up by 7. 7-0.
That's Mike Reinhardt who just hit that 3. Mike Baker with the ball on the wing over to Morgan Lewis. Morgan Lewis pulls a 3 of his own and drains that one. Morgan Lewis comes right back and answers Mike Reinhardt.
Absolutely. Big play man right there.
LaTourette goes into the lane, gives it off to Lubowski. Lubowski throws it up with the inside jumper.
And so it appears West Geauga does have a team besides Skuski. Certainly makes it a lot easier, or a lot harder, excuse me, on the Raiders.
Andrew Booth's jumper's no good.
Score now stands at 9-3 with just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
LaTourette with the ball over to Reinhardt. Over to Pisciano on the other wing. Into Lubowski. Lubowski inside. Kicks it out. Morgan Lewis with the strip. And he's driving to the lane. Gets it to fall. And a foul is called on number 14, Rob LaTourette. So Lewis is going to the line to shoot another.
I think Morgan Lewis has gotten himself such a reputation as a dunker that people are more willing to cut that off and foul him. I think that's what happened right there.
And Lewis hits his free throw, which moves the Raiders within 3.
That's right.
Of West Geauga.
And Lewis has scored all 6 of the Raiders' points thus far.
In the last game, Morgan Lewis was relatively dormant in the first half, only scoring 4 points, but then came back to score 15 in the second half and be the Raiders' leading scorer. So far this evening, he's taken charge and put up all of the Raiders' points.
Baker came down with a nice hard rebound right there. Good down low play. The kind of Raiders are going to need this game.
Good defense against Skuski. Andrew Booth with the ball inside. Loses the ball on the floor. Passes off to Ivan Pinkett. Pinkett looking to drive. Lanes are cut off. And Booth flying through the lane. Lays it up and in. And Baker tips his shot back in.
That brings the Raiders to within 1. Time now under 4 minutes. 3 minutes, 51 seconds to be exact.
The Raiders are starting to step up their play. It's something we needed to see. Reinhardt out to Pisciano. Back over to Reinhardt. We're seeing good ball movement out of the Wolverines. And Mike Baker comes up with a big board.
I'm sure that's not the shot the Wolverines wanted Skuski shooting.
Lewis pulls the trigger 3 and drains that one. That puts the Raiders up by 2, 11-9 with 3:20 left in the first quarter.
Lewis is smoking right now. And no timeout is being called. It appears
there's a turnover on the Wolverines.
Yeah. For a minute there, it looked like there was a turnover being called, but the refs waved it off.
Morgan Lewis with the ball, crosses up Reinhardt. And Lewis looks to pass to Ivan Pinkett, but Pisciano just playing too tight of a defense for Pinkett to break free.
time now is stopped with 3:08 as play resumes.
And Andrew Booth looks to intercept the pass, but tips it out of bounds. And the Harvey side of this gymnasium is absolutely packed. This being a gymnasium with 2 levels, and Harvey is packed every single seat. A little less dense on the opposing side.
That's true. Harvey fans do support their ball club.
And the Raiders come up with it. Ivan Pinkett working the ball up the floor. Over to Andrew Booth, and Booth puts it up. No good. Ryan Fairfield came up with the rebound, gives it off to Pisciano. Fairfield with the ball again. Kicks it over to Reinhard. Fairfield with a long pass over to Pisciano, who fires the 3. That one's no good. Baker comes up with a big rebound again.
Another rebound for Baker.
And Ivan Pinkett finds Andrew Booth wide open under the hole, gets it to him, and Booth puts it up and in for 2. The Raiders now on top by 4, 13-9. The clock stops with 2:06 left in the first quarter.
And this is the kind of play that really has led the Raiders this far. Now, while we have a chance, let's go to a word from our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Paulwell's.
Clark's Gas.
Talk of the Town Barber Salon.
Shops Trucking.
Image Makers.
Pelutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
New Hope Baptist.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
And Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. It'll be West Geauga Wolverine ball. Pisciano bringing the ball up court.
Now time is 2 minutes. Scores 13-9. West Geauga moving the ball around.
Raiders now in a zone defense. And West G shots no good. Morgan Lewis with the inside jumper gets stripped. Picked off by Pisciano. Pisciano working. And Ivan Pickett applies enough defense to stop the shot. Morgan Lewis with a long pass down to Booth, all the way down the court. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by number 34, Dave DeFranco.
And now that the ball has stopped, I have a chance to talk about it. It looks like Chris Crawford is playing man-to-man on Skuski. The Raiders are really giving him a lot of credit. So far, Chris Crawford has shut him down for these first 3 possessions. That should be interesting to see if he can keep his defense up.
Well, I know the Raiders have been practicing defending Skuski. Yesterday in practice, they had Adam Bollinger pretend he was Skuski, and Adam Bollinger being the biggest body on our team. And they just practiced playing defense on the big man in the paint. Pisciano to bring the ball up court. And number 34, Dave DeFranco, pulls the trigger for the 3.
That puts West G within 1. It's 13-12 now with 1:07 left to go in the first quarter.
Morgan Lewis pulls the trigger for a 3 of his own. Off the back of the rim. Pisciano over to Latorette. Morgan Lewis nearly picks off that pass. Latorette off to Skuski. And DeFranco going baseline. And he's fouled.
And we have seen a very patient Wolverine team thus far. Total opposite from Jefferson, which plays a fast-paced, trapping, confusing kind of game.
Yes. One of the things Coach Hartman said before the game was that we can't let West Geauga control the tempo of this game. We have to play at our pace, which is what we're used to is much faster than what we're seeing out of the Wolverines tonight. We need to make sure that we can keep up the tempo of this game. Latorette with the ball up top. Reinhard with the ball on the wing. Kicks it over to number 4, Pat McDonald. Reinhardt back over to McDonald. Now off to LaTourette. Over to DeFranco. And Ryan Fairfield comes up with the inside jumper. And that ends the first quarter. This game very close. The Raiders up by 1, 13-12.
And we will certainly look in the second quarter and beyond for Chris Crawford especially playing that defense on Skuski. Now while we have a chance, let's go to another word from our sponsors.
We'll take a look at our sponsors in just a few seconds. Meanwhile, here we go.
Colony Lumber Company.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Paul Wells, Bonita Smith, and Chris Joyce. Good luck, Raiders.
Clark's Gas.
Talk to the Town Barber Salon.
Shep's Trucking.
Image Makers.
Palutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
New Hope Baptist Church.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
And Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. We thank you all very much for your support. Without you, these broadcasts would not be possible. We join you once again with the Raiders on top 13-12, just about to start the second quarter. It'll be Red Raider ball. Zach Brubeck will inbound the ball.
And already the noise level in this stadium. I have heard games like the Riverside game and the last game against Jefferson. I didn't think it could get louder than that, but it has tonight. I'm sure of it.
Morgan Lewis with a little bounce pass into Chris Crawford. Crawford loses it. And Reinhardt comes up with it, gets it off to Pisciano. Pisciano pulls the trigger for three. And Zach Brubeck comes up with the board. Mike Baker pulls the trigger off the back iron. Baker follows the shot, comes up with the rebound off the back iron once again, and Reinhardt comes up with the ball.
Good fundamental play by Baker right there. What every coach stresses from playground ball is to follow your shot. Unfortunately, it didn't go in, but fundamental play like that will come through for you in the end.
LaTourette with the ball over to Reinhardt. Skuski with the ball over to Pisciano. Pisciano drives inside and throws it up, no good.
Crawford grabbing another board.
Morgan Lewis with the ball on the wing. Steps inside, gives it off to Chris Crawford. Crawford pump fake up and in. And drives through the lane, but the ball jumps out.
Good athleticism by the big man. Unfortunately, that shot didn't fall either. It's now 6 minutes and 38 seconds, and the score is still 13-12.
It was a smart move by Crawford to get the big men, the two big men that were guarding him, up and off their feet so that he had a clear lane to the basket.
That three-pointer pushes the score to 15-13 in favor of the Wolverines.
Morgan Lewis with the ball in the corner. Dumps it into Mike Baker. Baker looks to pass over to Crawford. And the ball is out of bounds when it's still in the hands of Nick Pisciano. That'll be Red Raider ball underneath. Zach Brubeck to inbound.
Wouldn't look for anything fancy here. Raiders have confidence in their ball handlers.
And Morgan Lewis puts up the inside jumper, rattles around and comes out. Mike Baker comes up with the rebound and loses the ball. He's going to the line to shoot two. He was fouled on the shot.
Baker, who's just about as automatic as anyone at shooting free throws, excuse me, will be shooting two right here.
Baker's first is up and rattles off the back.
Ivan Pinkett will be checking in for Zach Brubeck.
One thing we're really seeing in this game, which could play a factor towards the end, is that West Geauga is very patient, both offensively and defensively. They don't try to go for the steals that aren't going to be there on defense. And as we've seen, they've really passed the ball around an awful lot, not trying anything too quickly to get a few points.
Yeah, towards the end, it could be a battle of Morgan Lewis and his fast pace and Kuski and his slower.
And Skuski throws up the shot from the paint. It's no good.
Chris Crawford grabbing yet another rebound. Now 5 minutes, 40 seconds, score 15-14.
Chris Crawford drives to the hole.
Crawford's pounding that glass, but hasn't got a shot to fall yet.
Latorette's shot is short. Skuski comes up with the board and drives to the hole and puts it in.
And it appears Pinkett, who's more of a natural point guard, will be bringing it up. A lot of times Lewis brings it up.
Baker pulls the trigger for three, looks on, but just short. Pisciano drives to the hole, and he's fouled on the shot by Ivan Pinkett. Pisciano will get one more.
Score is now 19-14 in favor of the West Geauga Wolverines with 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the half.
The Raiders seem to be losing some of their momentum. And Pisciano hits his free throw, which puts the Wolverines up by 6. And a timeout is called by the Red Raiders. Score stands at 20-14, 5:03 left in the first half.
And we will go to our sponsors at this time, those people who make this possible for us to bring this to you. Colony Lumber Company,
CVS Pharmacy,
Joan Paul Wells, Bonita Smith, and Chris Joyce.
Clark's Gas,
Talk of the Town Barber Salon,
Shep's Trucking,
Image Makers,
Plutro Insurance,
Curves,
Silvestro's Depot Cafe,
New Hope Baptist Church,
Stars Cars,
Union Congregational Church,
and Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. Now the winner of this contest will go on to play in Canton at the Canton Civic Center. And I'm not exactly sure when that date is. However, we'll get back to you with that.
and I'm sure the Raiders will have a lot of fans down there supporting them still.
Oh, definitely. I know I'd make the trip.
And right before the Raiders called that timeout, I noticed that they did switch back to Morgan Lewis. I don't know if this is something the players do, but sometimes when they're trying to get a little change going on, they go to Lewis. And I noticed that when they just want to keep things the way they are, they go with Pinkett. Right. So it appears they will go with Lewis trying.
Lewis is a big playmaker for the Raiders. He can quickly get momentum for the team by hitting a big three or driving it all the way to the lane. Lewis opts to give it off to Alston. Alston into the lane. Gives it off to Baker. Baker kicks it out to Pinkett. Lewis with the ball over to Alston. Alston dribbling inside, throws it up high, off the side of the rim, and Reinhardt comes up with the rebound.
And 4 minutes, 36 seconds left. Still 20-14. And the Raiders have just drawn their fifth foul, so they're nearing foul trouble right now.
Wolverines only with 2 team fouls. Pisciano driving past Lewis. Gives it off to Latorette. Latorette with the ball on the wing. And throws it off the foot of Morgan Lewis.
Andrew Booth is checking in now for Kevin Alston. Looks like Chris Crawford is in here to stay tonight. Really, he's the only man that matches up so favorably with Kuski's height.
Pisciano with the ball on the wing. Deep on the wing, Lewis keeping him outside. Latorette steps inside, he loses his footing, and he was called with the travel. That's the second time we've seen that in 2 games, is that players have slipped on the floor and lost the ball to a travel. Pinkett with the ball on the wing, gives it over to Lewis, who loses the ball out of bounds.
And that stops the clock with under 4 minutes. It's now 3 minutes, 57 seconds, and the score 20-14 still in favor of the Wolverines.
Reinhardt with the ball over to Pisciano. Pisciano down into the corner. And now Skuski with the ball in the paint, throws it up and gets it in off the glass.
And Skuski, who had been quiet for a while, finally scores another basket. It's now 22-14 in favor of the Wolverines. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Skuski has 8 on the evening. And 5-second violation called. Morgan Lewis had the ball while Reinhardt was guarding him for over the allotted time.
I don't know. I think the ref was anticipating a travel right there. Lewis got up in the air, and the ref had to make up for it. Had to make something up.
And now a travel called on number 12, Ryan Fairfield. Red Raider ball. Now Pinkett brings the ball up court for the Raiders once again. Baker gives the ball off to Booth. Booth driving to the hole, and he's called with the offensive foul.
And right now, this tempo is not at all the way the Raiders would want it.
Not at all. Down by 8. The
And
Raiders need something to get us back in this game.
And this game is dragging for the Raiders, too. They now have picked up their 6th foul. Next foul will be 1-1 for the Wolverines. There's now 3 minutes left to go in the first half.
Reinhardt over to Pisciano. And Skuski loses the ball to Morgan Lewis, goes behind the back. And a foul called on number 4, Pat McDonald. It'll be Red Raider ball on the side. Morgan Lewis inbounds the ball. Long pass over to Mike Baker. And a foul called on number 34, Dave DeFranco, as Baker tried to drive to the lane.
Wow, so in a matter of a couple seconds, the Wolverines pick up 2 quick fouls.
Ball picked off by Pisciano. And Morgan Lewis comes up with the steal. Slows it down as West Geauga's outnumbering him. Drives all the way to the hole. Throws it up. No good. Lewis was fouled.
Stops the clock with 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It's 22-14 still in favor of the Wolverines. That is the 15th foul for West Geauga.
Pinkerton on the ball. Skies the pass over to Lewis.
Lewis showing why he's such a good wide receiver, too. Right there.
And Lewis going into the lane. Chris Crawford throws up the shot. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that foul is on number 11, Mike Reinhardt.
Crawford, who's really improved on his free throws and now is solid, if not above average. I mean, if not really good at them. But he missed his first.
That's Reinhardt's first foul on the evening. And Crawford hits his second, which brings the Raiders within 7.
Which finally moves the scoreboard. Now 22-15.
Reinhardt with a long pass over to LaTourette. LaTourette over to Pat McDonald. And LaTourette fires the 3. No good. Zach Brubeck comes up with it. Gives it off to Ivan Pinkett.
Cantley switches hands as someone was coming up behind him.
Pinkett fires the 3. And jumps off the front of the rim. And Morgan Lewis blocks everything out of Mike Reinhardt right there. Chris Crawford puts it up and in. Now the Raiders within 5, 17-22 with 1:35 left in the first half.
Gotta love that big man, Chris Crawford. Good solid athleticism to go home for the solid 2.
And LaTourette throws it up high off the glass.
Takes the score 24-17 with a minute 17 left to go in the half.
Ivan Pinkett over to Mike Baker. Baker loses it. Lafayette comes up with it on the fast break and lays it in.
59 seconds now to go. Lewis bringing it up court. They're down by 9. The Raiders are.
Lewis over to Crawford. Crawford drives to the hole. Goes up and drops it in.
Crawford is playing huge. He's been playing well for the Raiders. He is continuing to do well, be a big contributor. Raiders really need to turn things around going into halftime.
Now the Raiders once again down by 7, 36 seconds left. It'll be tough to go into halftime with a lead, but if we could still get some momentum going into halftime, it will really help us in the second half.
Yeah, I wouldn't really look for a lead right here. Just a couple more points would give us some nice momentum going into the half.
Morgan Lewis with the ball, facing Reinhard. Lewis steps inside, gives it off to Mike Baker. Lewis again with the ball. Over to Pinkett in the corner. Inside to Baker. Baker loses it to Pisciano. Pisciano driving the length of the floor. Passes over to number 4, who gives it off to number 12, Ryan Fairfield.
And the Raiders will be shooting 1-1. The foul is on number 10. That is Joe Lubelski. We haven't called his name much tonight. That is his second, though.
Checking into the game is Chuck Pruder. He's in to replace Lubelski.
And with 10 minutes and, 10.6 seconds left, Mike Baker will be shooting 1-1. It's 26-19.
Baker's first is up and good. Sinks it straight through the net. Baker's second. No good. Chris Crawford nearly comes up with the ball, loses it to Mike Reinhard. And Lafayette goes for the hole. Chris Crawford swats it.
Chris Crawford has been playing far better than anyone should expect a sophomore to. He's been doing great so far.
And he's only going to get stronger in the 2 years to come. Ivan Pickett throws up the 3 and just off to the side. So that ends the first half. The Raiders are down by 6, 26-20. Raiders could really use a big push.
That's right, but I think they did kind of stabilize the game a little bit more. Things were going on tilt, but they scored a couple points at the end to put it within a reasonable amount of score. It's 26-20 now as we go into the half. Now, let's take a look at our sponsors.
And our sponsors will be with us in just a moment as soon as... Here we are.
First off, we have Colony Lumber Company, 352-3351.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Paulwells, Benita Smith, and Chris Joyce.
Clark's Gas.
Talk of the Town Barber Salon.
Shep's Trucking.
Image Makers.
Plutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's.
New Hope Baptist Church.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
And Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. You know, I think the Raiders, what's been going on is that the Raiders are giving up too many shots from the inside, especially from in the paint. They're not rebounding enough, and the Wolverines are coming up with the offensive boards and just putting them right back up and in. I think we really need to step up our rebounding and eliminate some of those offensive boards.
Perhaps. I think also we've been making too many turnovers, though. And I do think that Chris Crawford came in and did a better job at defending and shutting down Kuskiano.
Right, and Skuski hasn't been quite as spectacular as we expected, but still, the big man's presence is being felt. Skuski is one of the top scorers for the Wolverines as of right now. So as we leave you for right now, the score stands at 26-20 in favor of the West Geauga Wolverines. We'll be right back. And we are back with second half action of your Harvey Road Raiders versus the West Geauga Wolverines. The Wolverines are on top by 6, 26-20, and we're just about to get back underway with some action. You can see our team still in the huddle. And
excuse me, Tyler. I think that in a game like this, endurance won't play as much of a factor as it did in the Jefferson game. Both teams are relatively deep, and this game has been going slow pace so far.
Right. We've seen not only a lot of talent off the Harvey bench, but a lot off the Wolverine bench. And we've seen Pat McDonald, Chuck Pruder, Ryan Fairfield, some of the people that didn't start for the Wolverines, but have played a lot of key roles in the game this far. Prisciano with the ball over to LaTourette. LaTourette into Lubelski. And Prisciano pulls the trigger for the 3. And right away, gets the momentum going back the Wolverines' way. Kevin Alston pulls up with the inside jumper off the back iron. Alston again with the shot. No good.
I think also this game will be a lot about who doesn't give up. It's going to be a lot about just pure heart.
Mike Reinhardt fires, but no good. Kevin Alston with the ball on the fast break. Throws it up high off the glass. And Morgan Lewis tips it back in, gets his feet taken out from under him. But Mike Baker comes up and cleans up. He's got 6 on the night.
Now 7 minutes, 8 seconds left, and it's 29-22 in favor of the Raiders.
Our fans were really hoping to get a foul on the player defending Morgan Lewis. He fouled him hard. Lewis ended up on the floor.
Sure, yeah, I feel slightly.
And Chris Crawford gets a piece of the ball off the 6'8" man. Morgan Lewis drives to the lane, throws his weight, throws it up and in. And Lewis is going to the line. He's shooting 1.
And right there, Lewis showed why he's a great center fielder, or he used to be, back when he played baseball. He just looked over his shoulder and caught that, made a great play to put the ball in, and now is shooting for make a 3-point play.
Lewis at the line. If he makes this, he puts the Raiders within 4. Raiders still down by 5, 29-24. And Kevin Alston comes up with the pick.
So the Raiders taking advantage of sloppy play by the Wolverines.
This is good. The Raiders are staying composed and just causing some West Geauga turnovers.
Yeah,
this is what we need to see. Ivan Pinkett gives the ball off to Chris Crawford, and Crawford throws it high off the glass. No good. Skuski comes up with the big board.
Time now 6 minutes, 18 seconds. Raiders still down 29-24.
Pisciano with the ball just across half court. Skuski gives it off to Lubelski. And LaTourette fires for 3. He hits it.
That was a big play for the Wolverines right there. Raiders really were coming back. Let's hope they'll keep coming. This is what I'm talking about. Let's hope they keep coming back, even though that 3-pointer just kind of killed their momentum.
And that moved the Wolverines up by 8. Kevin Alston with the ball on the wing. Dumps it into Morgan Lewis. Lewis throws up the jumper. Crawford nearly comes up with the rebound, but loses it out of bounds.
Good try by Crawford right there. Like to see the hustle. Clock is now stopped with 5 minutes, 37 seconds.
Pisciano with the ball. Gives it off to Reinhardt. Reinhardt dribbling around madly. LaTourette with the pump fake, goes into the hole. Loses it. Lubelski with the inside jumper. Throws it up and drops it in.
That puts the Wolverines up by an even 10 now. 5 minutes, 13 seconds left to go. The score is 34-24.
Morgan Lewis looks to dump it into somebody. Nobody really in that vicinity, and Skuski comes up with the ball. Crawford comes up with the defensive board. Long pass down to Alston, and Alston throws it up. And Baker cleans it back up and puts it in.
Baker's had a couple nice putbacks so far this quarter.
It's been a majority of his points. And Pisciano loses the ball off his foot, driving the hole. It'll be Red Raider ball. Pisciano not happy with that one at all.
But it was obvious from this angle.
Oh,
especially.
definitely.
I don't
right
know
off his knee.
Yeah, I don't know what
shin.
Pisciano's talking about. He felt it right on his knee. Now there are 4 minutes, 34 seconds left to go.
And Mike Baker sees Andrew Booth cut into the hole. Booth puts it up and in for 2. Raiders now within 6, 34-38. 4:25 left in the third quarter. And Skuski gets an inside 2.
Pinkett running the ball at court. A little bit faster than his usual pace.
Pinkett over to Baker. Baker back to Pinkett. Pinkett in the corner. Booth driving to the hole. Throws it way off. And Pisciano slowly brings it up court.
Time draws under 4 minutes now.
Reinhardt over to Lubelski. And Pisciano hits a 3 to put the Wolverines up by 11, their biggest lead of the game. The Raiders have been biting back little by little, but then the Wolverines just keep putting themselves farther and farther ahead.
That's right. The Raiders had some momentum, but now it's drawn back to even. And, now that we have a chance, let's go ahead and take another look at our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company,
CVS Pharmacy,
Joan Paul Wells, Bonita Smith,
Clark's Gas,
Talk of the Town Barber Salon,
Shep's Trucking,
Image Makers,
Pelutro Insurance,
Curves,
Silvestro's Depot Cafe,
New Hope Baptist Church,
Stars Cars,
Union Congregational Church,
and Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. It'll be Red Raider ball coming back into action. Ivan Pinkett brings the ball up court.
And the Raiders facing the double-digit lead, now 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And Mike Baker with a fadeaway jumper from the inside gets it to fall.
So Baker stepping up here in the third quarter. He's scored 6 this quarter.
DeFranco from the corner and rattles around and jumps out. Morgan Lewis driving the ball up court. He's fouled.
That is the second team foul on the Wolverines. And I think the Raiders got lucky on that last possession by the Wolverines. They moved the ball around and they were caught flat-footed. The Raiders were. Fortunately, Pisciano missed that open three-pointer.
Morgan Lewis fires the deep 3 off the front of the rim. It was dead on, just a little bit short. And you know what? Right there, Pat McDonald could have easily been called for over and back.
Well,
nobody happy with that one. I'm not sure how the ref missed it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Refs are not going to be held blameless in this one.
That was just incredible.
Last game against Jefferson, the refs were near perfect. Tonight, the refs have made a couple questionable calls.
And a foul called
On Andrew Booth.
That's his 4th of the game already, so he's in very serious foul trouble. Chris Crawford comes in to relieve him. Crawford has no fouls and 5 points. Reinhardt over to McDonald. McDonald loses it to Kevin Alston. Alston driving it on the fast break. Takes it all the way to the hole, high off the glass. And Mike Baker again with the cleanup.
Mike Baker been the garbage man so far this third quarter, just throwing everything back.
And Reinhardt's three is no good. Skuski comes up with the board. Pisciano with the long three. Ouch.
Puts Wolverines up by a solid 10. It's now 2 minutes, 5 seconds left. Fans riding the refs hard. Finally do call something against the Wolverines.
That foul on number 11, Mike Reinhardt. That's his second of the evening. And Mike Baker for three. That one's short.
I like the hustle right there by Mike Baker getting on the floor.
All right, Baker's really putting it all out there. And possibly a travel right there on Pisciano. And Ivan Pinky with a nice look over to Morgan Lewis, and Lewis throws it up off the glass and in.
Good pick, good pass, good move by Morgan Lewis.
Excellent right there. So we go into a timeout. Wolverines on top now by 8, 42-34. 1:44 left in the third quarter.
That's right. Now let's take another word from our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Paul Wells, Benita Smith, Chris Joyce.
Clark's Gas.
Talk of the Town Barber Salon.
Shep's Trucking.
Image Makers.
Plutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
New Hope Baptist Church.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
Fifth Third Bank.
And that is all.
The Wolverines have possession. Pisciano facing Ivan Pinkett. Pat McDonald gives it off to Reinhardt. High pass into Skuski. And Crawford blocks Skuski once again.
Fortunately, I think they're going to call a foul. Crawford is really playing a heck of a game down low.
Really, he's doing the best he can to combat the 6'8" Skuski.
He's working like a beast down there. And really has done well to quiet Skuski for most of the night. One minute, 31 seconds now. It's 43-34 in favor of the Wolverines.
Ivan Pinkett gives the ball off to Morgan Lewis. Lewis up top. Over to Baker in the corner. Baker goes baseline, pulls up. And he's fouled on the shot.
Wow. Lucky for the Raiders there. I don't think it really affected Baker's shot.
Right. That foul was on number 14, Rob LaTourette.
So, the Wolverines give Baker a couple shots at the free throws.
And Baker's free throws haven't really been working for him, as we've seen in other games this evening. At least splitting the pair in most of his attempts at the line.
Time is now stopped at 1 minute, 18 seconds. It's 43-34 still.
And Baker's second, also no good. Chris Crawford comes up with the offensive board, turns around, and gets called with the travel.
Fans are getting hostile. Call after call has really gone against the Raiders tonight.
Pisciano really pushing the ball up court, gives it over to Reinhardt.
Some of the calls were borderline, but some of them I think blatantly did go against the Raiders.
Now a foul called on Chris Crawford.
You are terrible. Get some glasses.
Second foul on Chris Crawford. And the team fourth for the Raiders.
This is getting irritating. Skuski over to DeFranco. Kevin Olsen with the ball in the fast break. And a little too much on that one. Lewis almost loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, poor decision by Alston. I think he should have held it a second longer and drawn the defender towards him. Hard thing to do, though. Now 37 seconds left to go. 43-34 still in favor of the Wolverines.
DeFranco dribbling around up top. Lebelski over to DeFranco. Into Skuski. Skuski puts it up and in. That puts the Wolverines up by 11 once again. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. West Geauga's playing very hard, but it looks to me like the Raiders are sort of giving up on a few opportunities. Chris Crawford comes up with the offensive board. Nothing. West Geauga just had position on the Raiders every time right there.
8 seconds left right here.
Skuski driving through the lane, lays it up and in.
And it's not raining, it's pouring for the Raiders right now.
And that ends the third quarter. The Raiders down 34 to 47. Nobody on the Harvey side at all happy with these refs.
However, on the other hand, no one's giving up hope yet. We're still holding it out. And now we're going to have another word from our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Paul Wells, Benita Smith, and Chris Joyce.
Clark's Gas.
Talk of the Town Barber Salon.
Shep's Trucking.
Image Makers.
Plutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
New Hope Baptist Church.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
And Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland.
So the Raiders are down. Definitely not out, but they need to come back from a 13-point deficit.
It's going to take a big fourth quarter right here. And it's going to be a tough comeback to make. The Wolverines are really just putting it all out on the floor.
So some of the cheering section is set down for the Raiders, but a lot of people still standing up. A lot of hope still out there for the Raiders. And the fans are rallying behind their Raiders right now.
We've got a fresh 8 minutes. Anything could happen. And the cheering section is really getting into this one. Reinhard fires the three, no good. Skuski comes up with it. And Pisciano gets blocked going through the lane, and a foul is called. That foul called on number 22, Ivan Pinkett. That's his second of the night. Pisciano hits his first. That puts the Wolverines up 48-36, and Pisciano hits his second. Now up 13 again, 49-36, 7:23 left in the game. Andrew Booth with the ball on the wing over to Ivan Pinkett up top. Pinkett steps inside, gives it up to Alston. Pinkett in the corner, kicks it out to Andrew Booth up top. Booth steps inside, pulls up, and hits it, drops it straight through. Rob LaTourette. And that's Dave Lebelski. I'm sorry, Joe Lebelski. Puts it up and in. Ivan Pinkett over to Andrew Booth. And Booth again with the inside jumper, gets it to fall. And Skuski with the inside shot, well off. And Skuski's follow-up.
All right.
Morgan Lewis driving the length of the floor, throws it up from the lane, gets it to fall. Now the Raiders are starting to rally back. Still down by 11, but we're seeing a lot more intensity out of the Raiders, especially on offense. And on defense too, forcing some turnovers.
Excuse me, there has been a little technical difficulties, but I'm back. And meanwhile, Andrew Booth has been hot while I've been out. Time now stops with 5 minutes, 49 seconds in the game. It's 53-42 in favor of the Wolverines.
Now the Wolverines still with the intensity. The Raiders starting to show some on themselves.
Yeah, they're heating up. They've gone up by 2 since the score of the fourth quarter. While we have the chance, why don't we take another look at our sponsors, those people who make all of this possible. Colony Lumber Company,
CVS Pharmacy,
Joan Paul Wells, Bonita Smith, and Chris Joyce,
Clark's Gas,
Talk of the Town Barber Salon,
Shep's Trucking,
Image Makers,
Pelutro Insurance,
Curves,
Silvestro's Depot Cafe,
New Hope Baptist Church,
Stars Cars,
Union Congregational Church,
and Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. The Wolverines taking no time getting back onto the floor. Maybe they think they've got this in the bag, but Harvey's gonna definitely look to prove them wrong.
Yeah, Raiders fans are still going strong. I think they taste the championship a little bit, or they did before the game started, and they still want it. Certainly not giving up.
Pisciano with the ball deep. Gives it off to LaTourette. Morgan Lewis takes it and throws it with the jam. Morgan Lewis flying through the air and throwing it in with one hand. And that's the momentum that the Raiders needed.
Lewis slams it home. Oh my gosh, he brought everyone to his feet.
He was up in the air for a long time there.
Wow, that is a huge play right there by Morgan Lewis. Brings the Raiders within 9 with 5 minutes, 16 seconds. And that does more than just the score indicates, too. Everyone's in the game now.
And DeFranco LaTourette throws it up and in. Morgan Lewis pushing the ball up court, pulls up for three, no good. Kevin Alston follows it, throws it up to the paint. And Lewis comes up with it.
Lewis gets another rebound.
Long pass cross court over to Baker.
And some sort of foul is called.
These refs aren't giving us any leeway here. Everything we do is getting called.
Well, regardless, that was on Mike Baker. That is his second and the team's sixth. Raiders down by 11 now. 4 minutes, 33 seconds to go.
Lebelski looks to the hole. Nothing there, and Skuski shot no good. And that ball's going the Raiders' way.
Foul going in number 10. That is his third. Number 10, of course, being Lubelski, who we seem only to call when he gets a foul. Both teams have 6, so any fouls after this will be penalties.
Ivan Pinkett with the ball, works it over to Morgan Lewis. Lewis into the corner to Alston. And Booth takes it to the hole and puts it up and in. The Raiders again within 9. 4:05 left in the game. And the timeout is called. The Raiders really looking for anything that can decrease this lead and give us a shot at this ball game.
And as always seems to happen, at least 4 of their starters are approaching double digits in points. Again, now that we have a chance at this timeout, let's go to our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company,
CVS Pharmacy,
Joan Paul Wells, Bonita Smith, and Chris Joyce,
Clark's Gas,
Talk of the Town Barber Salon,
Shep's Trucking,
Image Makers,
Pelutro Insurance,
Curves,
Silvestro's Depot Cafe,
New Hope Baptist Church,
Stars Cars,
Union Congregational Church,
and Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. Still 17 seconds left in the timeout. Both teams ready to play some more basketball. And the Harvey fans are on their feet, giving the team all their support. This ball game within 9, 55-46 in favor of the West Geauga Wolverines.
and Scott Aston has checked into the game. Wow. Obviously, the Raiders looking for maybe a fresh twist or something. Giving Scott Aston a chance to play in a big game.
Pat McDonald with the ball over to Rob LaTourette. Mike Reinhardt gives it off to McDonald once again. McDonald gives it over to Skuski, and the big man dumps it in again.
Pushes the lead back to 11 now. 3 minutes, 34 seconds to go in the game.
And Morgan Lewis finds an open Andrew Booth. Booth goes into the lane and throws it up, no good.
That's mess up number 8.
McDonald with the ball up top, over to Pisciano. Into Reinhardt. McDonald with the ball inside, takes a baseline over to Skuski. Skuski kicks it back out to Reinhardt.
And the Wolverines are using the tactic that the Raiders used to destroy Jefferson. That is, they're stalling right now. And I'm thinking pretty soon the Raiders are going to have to start fouling.
Reinhardt fires the 3 off the front of the rim. McDonald comes up with the rebound. With a hand in his face, he throws it up, no good.
An aggressive foul by Scotty Aston right there. That is team 7 for the Raiders. So the Wolverines will shoot.
Rob Lacherette's going to the line.
And time is stopped with 2 minutes, 46 seconds. With the Wolverines up 57-46.
And Lacherette's first is up and good, so he'll get one more.
That pushes the deficit up to 12.
It's going to be tough to come back with just 2:46 left in the ball game.
And
make that 13.
But you know what? There's a strange power. These seniors, this might be their last game. I think that might have something a little extra left in the tank. We'll see if that plays into effect at all.
Booth loses it.
Eventually, though, all teams have to lose.
8 on 5.
Lacherette into McDonald. McDonald gives it off to Lacherette. And Pisciano with the ball.
Wolverines are continuing to stall and doing it quite effectively, too. It's now 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and Chris Crawford picks the ball off.
Kevin Alston driving the ball down court, gives it off to Morgan Lewis on the wing. Lewis looks into Baker underneath, and Baker is fouled on the shot. Fouled by Rob Lacherette. So Baker's going to the line to shoot 2.
Shoot 1-1.
Oh, 1-1, I'm sorry. It was on the floor? I thought it was on the shot.
Oh, maybe you're. Oh, you are right. Excuse me. The refs did call it on the air. It's 59-46. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game.
And Mr. Consistency is getting his title back because he hits his first. Baker misses his second. Morgan Lewis comes up with the rebound, though. Good looking at Ivan Pinkett. Crawford looks up but gets blocked by Skuski. And a timeout called by West Geauga.
Minute 50 now. That stops the clock with 59-47 favor the Raiders. And I don't know what West Geauga's doing right here. Probably just telling them good way to stall the game or something like that.
Yeah.
Raiders, I'm sure they're going to keep scrapping till the very end. And I hope they do give it an effort all the way through.
Yep. I mean, I'm sure they'll play their hardest all the way throughout the rest of the game. And we've seen great intensity from them throughout this whole game. Some things just weren't working tonight.
You're right. Let's take another word from our sponsors. Colony Lumber Company.
CVS Pharmacy.
Joan Powell's, Benita Smith, and Chris Joyce.
Clark's Gas.
Talk of the Town Barber Salon.
Shep's Trucking.
Image Makers.
Pelutro Insurance.
Curves.
Silvestro's Depot Cafe.
New Hope Baptist Church.
Stars Cars.
Union Congregational Church.
And Fifth Third Bank in Cleveland. It'll be West Geauga ball coming back into play. 1:50 left in the ball game. Wolverines up 59-47. Pisciano gives the ball over to LaTourette. Now over to Pat McDonald. And another foul is called.
It didn't even appear to be on the ball.
It was away from the ball.
I don't know why a ref would call that at this point. I didn't see anything blatant, that's for sure.
And now Andrew Booth is coming in to relieve Chris Crawford.
That was Chris Crawford's 5th foul of the night.
Skuski's first, no good. I think we've got a shack on our hands. Big underneath, but nothing from the free throw line. Pisciano going baseline, gives it off to LaTourette. Pisciano over to McDonald, who's wide open.
Pushes the Wolverine lead to 61-47. Minute 12 now in the game.
Lewis pulls up for three, and that ball was tipped. Ivan Pinkett with the ball underneath.
Time now under a minute, 59 seconds remaining.
Nick Pisciano really pushing the ball up.
And I'd expect to see the rest of the seniors entering pretty soon. One last encore, so to speak.
Pisciano's at the line to shoot 1 and 1. That foul on Mike Baker, his 3rd of the night. Pisciano's first is good. .55 seconds left in the ball game. And Pisciano's second is no good, but Skuski comes up with the rebound and loses it to Morgan Lewis.
Lewis still pushing it up, still trying to win.
Booth fires the three and drains it. Raiders now within 12. 40 seconds left, 41 seconds left in the ball game. Not an unreasonable deficit. And the foul sends Rob LaTourette to the line.
And the Raiders are now in the double penalty, so Wolverines get to shoot 2. .63-50.
And Skuski's going out of the ball game.
Gets cheered on from his own fan section.
Wolverines sending everybody back to play some defense. Pinkett over to Booth. Booth fires the three and hits another one. The refs ruling that one a 2.
Booth, wow. 2 free throws and 3-pointers in a row.
At least within 3-point range. And Andrew Booth fouls Mike Reinhard, so Reinhard will go to the line. That's Booth's 5th, and he'll grab a seat on the bench for the rest of the season, unfortunately.
And 2 remaining seniors, and Phil Rogers set to check into the game. Zach Bruback and Phil Rogers checking into the game.
And James Thompson also checking into the game.
As Ivan Pinkett, Mike Baker check out to an ovation from their fans. some of the little used players check in. Now Big Country checking in the game as well.
Reinhardt's second free throw is, his first free throw, no good. And his second, no good. Scott Aston pushes the ball up court. Fires the three, no good. Number 20 for the Wolverines comes up with it. 6 seconds left. And Harvey fans are starting to clear out of the gymnasium.
It's been a good season for the Raiders. It really has. They made it all the way to finals.
I mean, it's nothing to be disappointed about, making it to the championship game of the finals. Still, everybody wants to walk away with the championship.
And we'll say farewell to our seniors: Thompson, Brubeck, Pinkett, Alston Jr., Mike Baker.
They will definitely be missed next year.
And the Raiders certainly have high hopes for next year too, with people like Scott Aston, Phil Rogers.
Brubeck fires the deep three, and that ends the ball game. The West Geaugas come away with the victory. The West Geauga Wolverines come away with the victory. Final score 66-52. Some things just weren't working for the Raiders this evening, and unfortunately, it's the end of the season for the Raiders. On that, we will leave you until next basketball season. I'm Tyler Camiotti.
And I'm Logan Repko.
Have a nice evening.